Hi, welcome to Word. So for this assignment, I'm going to introduce some new features. The first thing I want to do is select the title, and I want to add text effects. And you can select anything, and then if you decide later, you can change the color of the text by just choosing font color, and you can also enlarge it. If I click this one, which is increase font size, it'll increase it one at a time until I see what I like. If I knew exactly what size I wanted, I could go right here. But this is gradual, so you could look at it that way. And then we can also center it, center alignment. Now for the side headings, I can select one of them and change the color, just to have something different, and make it a little bit larger, and then put it in bold. And then maybe I would like to have a bottom border, and then I decide, well, that's a plain bottom border, so I'm going to go into Borders and Shading, and I'm going to select a different border and see how I like it, and then I can choose the color and click it, and then you can choose the thickness of the color. So that's the bottom border. And then while I'm here, I'm going to go to Shading, and I'm going to choose a shading color. I'll go into here and I'll choose a lighter color. So it's a shading just on that one line, and then click OK. So now I could go to the next one and do everything that I just did to this one, or if I select the one I like, double click the paintbrush, Format Painter, and then if you notice I have a paintbrush attached to the icon. I can just point, even though it's not there. If I come over here to the selection area, I can just point and click and do the same thing for the next side heading. And then if I scroll down, I'll do it here. Whoops, not there. Now if that ever happens, you have to restart your paintbrush. So I'll just select, double click the paintbrush, then I still have it now, click, and then one more. Make sure you turn your paintbrush off so you don't click anything accidentally. In this section, we want to put numbering on. So if you go up into here, you can select numbering. The default setting is to be 1 period, 2 period. If you click the down arrow, which are more options, maybe you want the parentheses, maybe you want Roman numerals or uppercase, lowercase letters, whatever you decide. Now if we come down to the next section and you also want to continue the numbering, whatever you just chose will be repeated, the style. Now let's say you wanted it to continue, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you would do here is you could choose continue numbering and it would do it for you. And if you decide, no, I don't want that, I can restart it so it starts at 1. So you can do that. Or you can change it completely to a bullet. And again, if I just selected here, I'd get the solid circle, which is the default setting, or I could pick something else. Or you can see that I have a computer that I've used recently, and where I got that is define new bullet, and in images I chose computer. So you could have anything you'd like for your bullets, which is nice. So if I was over here and I was typing something and then I want to get back to the beginning, hold the Control button and press the key that spells H-O-M-E, home, takes you to the top. Control E-N-D takes you to the end. So that's just a quick way to get back to the top or to the bottom of the document. Control home and Control end. The other one is Control A, where that selects everything. If you wanted to change all of the font or put it all in bold or something, you could do it to all of it. And just click away to deselect. You can also get it in here where it's select, and you see select all, and if I hover over it, it should show me that the shortcut is Control A. So there is another one I want to show you that you can use within Word, any of the software applications, or you can use it in a PDF file or in an e-textbook. And what you would do is Control F, which is find, and I would type the word society. And then it'll tell me that it occurs 2 times and it's within the same paragraph. And it's in yellow highlighting. So if I wanted to look something else up, I'm going to look up speech. And there's only one result, and you can see it right here in yellow. And if I wanted to look something else up, I'm going to type technology. This time, this one should come up a lot. 12 times so you can see it within the document. So it's a quick way to find a particular word you're looking for without searching and reading everything. So you could just use that Control F. Headings, it'll show you if I had headings. I don't have any, everything is in normal. I didn't use a specific style here for title or headings. I didn't use that, so nothing shows up. But pages, it's only one page document. Results is the Control F to find. So I'm going to close out of the navigation, and again, to open that, I just clicked Control F, or I can click the Find button, and there's my navigation window. Or I can choose View, and then Navigation pane. The easiest way is Control F, and I'll just close it out. So the default margins, if we were to go into Layout, Margins, the default, see the gray box around it, is normal. The 1 inch is top, bottom, left, and right are all 1 inch. So if I were to click in here, I just click the one that was there, which was normal. If I wanted narrow, what's going to happen is there'll be less white space on the ends. See how narrow it is? And then I'll just, so now narrow is selected. I'm going to choose wide. So they're 2 inches for the left and right, so it's very, very wide for the margins, and I'll go back to normal. Now, if there's something here that you didn't want, or that didn't show up that you wanted, you could go to custom and type exactly what you want. So you can see that the top, bottom, left, right are 1 inch, and the portrait is the standard default setting rather than landscape. And this is the place that you would go to if you wanted to have it centered automatically, and I'm just going to show you again. If I were to view this as one page, you'll notice there's a lot of space at the bottom, so it's not centered vertically on the page. Yes, you could put a couple entries at the top to try and eye it so that it's centered, but the quickest way is to go into Layout, in Page Setup, or you can go to Margins here. Either way, it'll take you to the exact same tab, Page Setup, Margins, Paper, Layout. If I do it here, it's the same thing. I'm going to go to Layout, and the vertical alignment is at the top, which is 1 inch, and I'm going to choose Center so that it places it right in the middle for me. So I'm going to go back to view 100% so you can see. Now let's say I wanted to have these numbered items in alphabetical order. So I would just select the items that I want in alphabetical order, and this on the Home tab, click Sort, and it'll sort by paragraph, which is each line, because it ends with an enter at the end of the line. So that's considered a paragraph, even though it's one line. In ascending order, and notice what it is right now. So virtual should be last, and I'll click OK. And it sets it in alphabetical order. So that's a handy feature. When we use the numbering format, so if I had, so when I selected the 4 lines, it automatically, so if I come up here, see how the margin's at the 1 inch? And then it's at 6.5. So 6.5 is your typing space. That's an inch here, 7.5, and an inch here, 8.5. That's a full-size paper. So when I click over here to see where I had the numbered section, or when I look at the bulleted sections, watch the ruler. So if you don't have your ruler on, you choose View and you select Ruler. See how the ruler's gone? Put it back on. So here, no margin changes, but when I go in here, you can see that it increased the tab where the number is so that it's in 1/4 of an inch, and then from that place, the typed text is in another 1/4 of an inch. Those are automatically, you don't have to worry about it. When you click either numbers or bullets, it'll do that automatically for you. So I come here and I can see the same thing, it did it automatically for me. If I click in this paragraph, there were no tabs. So that's default settings. Alignment, we did choose center for this, and that was this one right here. And if I look in this paragraph, do you see how it's uneven on the right-hand side? It's set for left alignment. If I wanted to have it centered, that would be each line centered, or I could go back to left, or right aligned, so everything's aligned on the right. And again, you can use the shortcuts, because if you hover over, you'll see Control L, Control E is center, Control R is right, and the one I want to make them even on both sides so it looks like it's professionally typed, I'll use Justified, Control J. And you can see that this paragraph is in Control J, justified. If I look down here, this one is not. So I'd have to put that also justified, and then one more. You can see in the end it's off just slightly, but if I put justified, it makes it perfectly even. So that's a nice feature to have it look professionally created. Now if I wanted to, I just press Control End and I'll hit Enter, new paragraph. Or actually I don't want to do that because I don't want to throw off the centering. But if I wanted to start a completely new page, I could choose Insert and Insert Blank Page, and it will give me a completely new page 2. Or I could use Control Enter, and that will also give me a completely new page. And then just get a backspace to get rid of it. The other thing is you can insert a cover page, and you would probably go Control Home, and I'm going to delete it after, but insert cover page, there's quite a few to select from. And even if you don't like the picture, you could add in your own. You could put the stick logo. And I'm going to try this one right here. They all have names, WISP. And you could type a document title, a subtitle. You could actually select a date. And have your, if you're doing it, it'll come up here with your name. You could delete the company name if you didn't want it. But I'm going to remove it completely. So to remove the cover page, I'll just choose Remove Cover Page, and it's gone. But that's a nice feature to add to a multi-page document. So the other thing I wanted to just share with you is the clipboard. It is a great feature. So I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to choose the clipboard pane so it opens on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to clear it so I'm starting off fresh. So let's say I decide that I don't want interactive. So if I double click it, it selects just that word. If I press delete on the keyboard, it goes away, but it's gone completely. What I want to do is not choose delete, is use the scissors for cut. So at least it goes in here. And then let's say I want to get rid of remarkable, or not remarkable, I'll get rid of reality. Reality, virtual reality gaming. So I'm going to double click that one. I'm just going to show you if I press delete, it went away, but do you see how it didn't go into the clipboard? Because I used delete on the keyboard. So just to bring it right back, I'm going to click undo. So whenever you delete words, I would use or recommend that you use the scissors or Control X. Now what happens is if you are up here and you're, what was that word that I used and I want it back now? Because you use the clipboard, they'll all be visible. And your clipboard, even if I got rid of this entire paragraph, which is triple click and cut, it all goes in here so I can put it right back. So the whole paragraph goes in there. So it's a nice feature to use the cut, and at least it remains in here. So I was in here, educational, it was interactive websites. So I could just click it and get it back. So this is a nice way to use your cut feature, and it's stored in here. So if you, what did I use? You could look in your clipboard pane. It holds 24 items, so if you had a lot of them, you'd get a scroll bar and you could scroll down and see all of your items. If you wanted to delete individual ones, you could. This is an amazing feature. I recommend that you, when you select words to delete them or sentences, use the cut. Don't use delete on the keyboard, because delete, it's gone permanently. Whereas if you cut or Control X, it's stored in your clipboard, holds 24 items, and you can always refer to it. And if you ever needed to add the same word again, you could just click it and it's there. So it's a great feature for the clipboard. So I hope you enjoyed these extra new features for this module. Thank you.